Sun News will be controversially Canadian.
Straight talk, no bull. Shooting from the hip, talking about the issues that actually matter. Prime time on Sun News. Controversially Canadian? You bet.
I'm in a one-person prison.
It's not about me. It's about our society as a whole and what we give our attention to.
Activists, lobbyists, special interest groups, take heed.
I can't take the day off work, like most of us can, to, participate in this silly little Occupy movement.
Where are Canada's feminists?
The biggest problem, I think, with much of what's on, on this show and on other shows like it on cable news in Canada, is its play fighting.
I'd hug him too, Brian.
The cops there have been absolutely terrific to me.
Well, because you're not smoking pot and assaulting girls.
No, but
Not yet.
It's proof of the domination of men.
I'm just a cultural Philistine here.
Industry insiders are wondering if this network is really needed, if there's a big enough audience to keep them afloat.
The ratings they don't want you to see.
Come on, shiny pony. Dance, you should ballet training.
You're not above it! You're not above it!
Canada is and always has been our country.
Yet family is coming under fire nowadays. Michael Corrin presents In Defense of Family.
That's the problem with a lot of these people. They always live in the park or just on the outskirts.
So now it's a cause. So they're in the park all the time, but for this week it's a cause, and he's getting free stuff.
And buckle up and get ready for some great TV.
How are you making a difference here?
Well, I'm not doing much of a difference right now because I'm speaking to a man successfully sued for defamation of character.
The world is a dangerous place.
Political correctness has run amok.
Our media really doesn't get it.
Now, artists and dancers care deeply about society and sacrifice entirely and give them...
Covering the stories no one else will even touch.
We've recreated, with a lot less aroma, the tent feeling here of the shanty town.
We're taking on smug, condescending, often irrelevant journalism. We're taking on political correctness.
You are racist! You are racist! I just wanted to be safe, because it's a bit of a STD festival down there.
This whole thing, why does that cost $1.2 million?
I never thought I would feel sympathy for a liberal, but I feel it watching that. Boom!
Imagine wearing this in the summertime in such hellholes as Iran and Saudi Arabia.
I just don't get where you get off suggesting that we are lacking in compassion.
This is his liberal bar mitzvah. Today he becomes a man, Brian.
It seems like the thing to be is offended by something these days. Everything's offensive to someone, isn't it? In the age of tolerance, everyone is more offended than ever. Personally, I'm offended by the term empowerment.
Personality-driven reporters and anchors.
Chaz is using his BlackBerry, which is very occupied.
You're not above it!
Who are saying, I don't like this, and my neighbors shouldn't be allowed to watch it. I think that crosses a big line.
Why do our official feminists only speak out against sexism when the perpetrator is some old white guy?
Hard news by day, straight talk by night.
There are no sacred cows.
It is morally no different than if a man were to walk down the street with his wife wearing a dog collar on a leash.
Is Canada turning into a Big Brother state? Is technology helping or holding back our freedom?
Who isn't afraid to turn conventional wisdom upside down?
There's me. You remember I won a second-place Douchebag of the Year award.
You're not above it!
Unapologetically patriotic.
What self-respecting protester takes a cab to the protest?
Yeah. What would your advice to us be? You like causing a fuss, and we love it. How can we be freer up here in Canada, Ann Coulter?
A lot of people thought that Justin Trudeau would punch like Justin and then land on the canvas like Justine.
She's reading a copy of Noam Chomsky, of course. Where are Canada's feminists? Where are all the bra burners from the 1960s?
Canada must reflect the true character of the Canadian people. Honorable in our dealings, faithful to our commitments, loyal to our friends. But
Ezra, you know your argument is not ethical. That's why you always divert.
Okay.
above it. He's afraid of good questions.
Let me take this stupid straitjacket off. I'm a guy who likes lots of hand contact and lots of touch. I'm a very touchy-feely guy, as the Quebecor Human Resources Department knows. In normal times, a bunch of people walking down the street in masks would have aroused suspicion of a robbery. Now, it's politically incorrect to ask people to show their face on the street.
The pony, it's not just about Jazzercise or Tybo. He can actually deliver a punch.
Polls show the measure gaining support in recent months, although nearly 20% of the country remains undecided.
Worn as a symbol of gender apartheid. It destroys a person's identity.
His face, don't touch the face. I don't want those beautiful lips to be bleeding.
Covering the stories no one else will even touch.
I have a confession, which is I go to bed every night, I dream of another recession. I dream of another moment like this.
They're just general news updates. We're not totally crazy.
My inspiration in life is a man I met in Nigeria called Ben Kenobi. He taught me so much about the force that spirituality has.
I took a tetanus shot before I went down there. Liberals engage in groupthink. Now, they like to think they're independent thinkers, think for themselves, but isn't it true that they actually turn into an angry mob at the slightest pretext? In that case, we'd be allowed to see the woman's face. She'd at least be allowed to have an identity. I mean, that place was so white. It was like the chess team at my Jewish school. It was so white.
It's definitely a bit more interesting than Steve Paikin.
One good thing about being stubborn, though, Mayor Ford, is you always know what you're going to be thinking the next day.
For most traders, it's not about, we don't really care that much how they're going to fix the economy, how they're going to fix the whole situation. Our job is to make money from it.
Today is a historical day. Canada will have a new national news network.
And I'm a newly born-again Christian and would like to share my story of salvation with you. I was born in West Philadelphia and also raised there. I spent most of my days playing basketball on a playground, but also chilling out and relaxing. But then one day, a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my living area.
The left does it, but the right doesn't riot.